Thank you very much for joining me on the marketplace today. Welcome back. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has promised to ensure internally generated revenues are used prudently and distributed equitably to develop the economy. Mr. Ofori-Atta gave the assurance as he prepares to present the mid-year budget review and supplementary budget next Monday. He spoke with Joy Business in Accra.
I think the years ahead are going to demand even stronger intervention in these areas, and for you to continue to use your branch network across the country to promote the type of decentralized growth that we need for real growth to occur. So, Mr. CEO and team members, we really do appreciate. We still got some long ways to go. You know, revenue to GDP is about 12.6%, and we need to move to 19%. So the interventions of service provider like GCNet is going to be very crucial to the way forward in terms of preventing leakages, etc. And so we are looking forward to engaging more, getting GRA and to be a lot more efficient than it has been in the past. We did on June 1st change all the 3 commissioners. And I think this is the first time in the history of the authority that the commissioners are from outside. But it's basically indicating, you know, the commitment to really create the new GRA man or woman to be able to protect the public purse and increase, you know, our revenues. And we can't do that without technology, you know, and the more technology as GCNet, TRIPS, etc. provides, the more effective we will be.
So the Finance Minister was speaking at a short ceremony in Accra where GCNet and GCB Bank both presented dividends to government. Away from that, trading on the Ghana Stock Exchange's equity market has started responding positively to current inflation trends recorded over the last few months. This is likely to impact strongly on the performance of the equity market for the next half of the year. This is coming from the Deputy Managing Director of the Exchange, Eko Afeji. He spoke in an interview with Joy Business after Bond Savings and Loans took his turn at the facts behind the figures series in Accra. Here's a report by Ebenezer Sabuti.
Trading on the Ghana equity market has been slow for some time due to challenges within the financial sector as a result of current reforms by the Bank of Ghana. According to the Deputy Managing Director, Eko Afeji, there has been a signal from the investing public that the markets will respond to improvements in the financial sector.
The fundamentals of the economy are strong. You can't take that away. Inflation, I think, is about 9%. Interest rates, treasurables, I think it's about 14%. We've seen those fundamentals doing well. And once you have stable currency for foreigners who can come and buy and sell, you see interest rates dropping, you've seen inflation dropping, then there's hope for the future. In terms of the equity market, you tend to find people now patronizing the equity market. What we have to do to try and shape up the interest again in equities.
After addressing a section of fund managers and investors at the Facts Behind the Figures series, Chief Executive of Bond Savings and Loans, George Ofosuhene, disclosed that the company has begun a process to raise funds from the Ghana Stock Exchange bond market. The process, when successful, will be used for expansion in technology and building the company's financial capacity.
Banking is no more where you go. Banking is what you do. That is, if you are here right now, you should be able to do transactions, you know, with your bank on your smartphone. Or even if you don't have a smartphone, these days we have the benefit of being able to do it on, you know, Android phones that are not, you know, smart. So we have to enhance our capability. And then the last thing is that the medium-term funds give you the benefit of reduced interest. So if you have reduced interest, your cost of funds is lower. You are able to give loans that are at a lower rate. In the process, you help people's businesses, and then eventually that also helps the economy. So these are the things that we want to do. And we are hoping that because of our performance over the period, we have been able to ensure that all coupon payments are made on time. We have satisfied all conditions relating to what we did earlier. We have the inclination that fund managers will support this new move that we are trying to make, to raise more money.
Many more companies are being encouraged to use the secondary bond market to raise funds for their operations. Ebenezer Sabute's report for Joy Business.
Meanwhile, the Managing Director of Bond Savings and Loans, George Ofosuhene, is pleading with the public to desist from churning out false information about the savings and loans industry, which he notes could lead to panic withdrawals. According to him, customers react negatively whenever false information is going out to the public. His calls follow the announcement by the Bank of Ghana to extend the financial cleanup period for savings and loans companies.
This business that we do requires that people can feel confident and can trust. Because, there isn't anybody who will put his money anywhere if he feels that his money is at risk. So if there's anything that is going on that creates an issue of confidence, then you have a problem of people being reluctant to put their money in there. So it is right that there's an issue with confidence. We all have to support in bringing up this confidence. That's why I was talking the way I did earlier on, that I am looking for something like a crusade. Let us go out there, let's talk to people, let people understand that if we all go to any of the institutions and go and ask for our money, none of the institutions will continue to survive. There's the need for us to be patient, and even if you have had problems with your institution, Bank of Ghana has said it and continues to say it and has shown clearly that nobody who is a depositor has lost money and nobody who is a depositor will lose money. So don't rush. Even if you have a problem, you take your time and just make sure that whatever document that the company has given to you is authentic and you can use it to prove that you put your money there. And the areas where there are no issues, don't rush there and go and say that I'm taking my money, because I've heard it somewhere that there are problems. The issue is confidence. All of us have to support. And I'm saying that because it is possible that one of you here may be approached by somebody who is not as knowledgeable as you are, and asking you for information that will help the person take a certain decision. Let the person understand it from the point that I'm making right now, that what is the issue? What do you consider to be the reason why you are panicking? And then go through the process of explaining, let the person understand Bank of Ghana is doing A, B, C, D. So take your time and it will be okay.
Let's turn away from the financial sector now. Policy analyst and chairman of the Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, Dr. Steve Mantiao, is calling for closer collaboration among government agencies to help them nip the high rate of corruption in the extractive sector. Speaking to Joy Business at a stakeholder engagement on findings of a study on the nature of corruption risks in Ghana's extractive sector, Dr. Mantiao noted displacing the corruption chain would help earn government more revenue.
The typology and nature of corruption risk in Ghana's extractive sector study revealed, despite growth experienced in exploration, production and export of extractive resources, the impact on the economy is below expectation. This development has been largely attributed to widespread abuse and poor management of activities in the extractive sector by companies and responsible agencies. Samuel Bekoe is an economist with the Civil Society Platform on Oil and Gas.
The Petroleum Commission have been complaining about fronting, which is we have local content target, but unfortunately we haven't monitored in terms of how these big companies award their contract. We are trying our best as a country, but we've not gotten there yet. If we get to know that there is some public servant involvement in some of these issues, we need to ensure that we enforce and punish. Of course, we saw from anecdotal evidences that the Galamsey issues or small-scale mining award of licenses involve a lot of conflict of interest, with some officials having interest in some of the companies that were getting licensed over a short time. Also, there have been bureaucracy in the award of contract or authorizations issued by the government, and these bureaucracies have fueled bribery in the sector as well.
Policy analyst Dr. Steve Mantiao, however, noted the need for proper collaboration amongst regulatory agencies to curb corruption in the sector.
It's our conviction that this country may be losing much more in revenue, badly needed to finance our development as a result of lack of coordination between regulatory agencies and the tax collecting agencies or authority. Let's say, for instance, if at the beginning of the year a company prepares its program of work and submits this program of work to the Petroleum Commission, the expectation under this coordination thing that we're talking about will be for the Petroleum Commission to automatically share this information with the Revenue Authority so that their transfer pricing antenna goes up, because the plan of work will give indication as to the major procurements to be made in that particular year. And so you follow and ensure that the prices that are being quoted by the company for the various procurement they are making are in tandem with internationally benchmark prices, so that you do not get shortchanged along the line.
The typology and nature of corruption risk in Ghana's extractive sector report forms part of a larger national anti-corruption project. For Joy Business, Sheila Tamaklu.
If you're watching the Marketplace live on Joy News, let's still stay within the extractive space. The International Federation of Agriculture Journalists, IFAJ, has reiterated the need for agriculture journalists to be consistent with providing information to farmers. The call, according to IFAJ, is necessary in the face of severe impact of climate change and is accompanying threat to food security. President of IFAJ, Owen Roberts, made a call in Minneapolis, the United States of America, at a special training program, the Young Leaders and Masterclass program for agri journalists. Prince Appiah is taking part in the Young Leaders program in Minneapolis. He's joining us via Skype to tell us more about the program. Now, Prince, you're welcome to the Marketplace.
Thank you very much, Imam.
All right, so what exactly is the reason for this call being made by IFAJ?
So first and foremost, every country in this world depends on food, and basically it's the farmers that provide food for every country in this country. And the call is that for agriculture journalists who are supposed to become a link between farmers and those who consume the farm produce, they must be up and doing in this particular time. This particular time, as we can all see, there's been evidence of climate change, a lot of issues with changing patterns of the weather affecting farm produce, affecting agricultural production. And he believes that it is about time that agri journalists become very effective, provide the necessary information to the farmers to help them know how and when to produce, how and when to cultivate their farms, and some measures they can put in place to mitigate against the impact of climate change, which can be their own change in the activities that they engage in, farm management practices and all. And he believes that this is very critical at this point in time for agri journalists to be up and doing and help the farmers.
Now, you've had the opportunity to visit some farms, I guess, in the U.S. Now, how different is farming in the United States of America to Ghana? And what exactly, or what is the evidence you've seen that show that they're actually preparing themselves against climate change?
Ima, I should say that most of the farms that we've visited so far are engaging in what they call huge mechanized farming, and most of the farms have at least a renewable energy production hub, which is helping them to engage in a lot of strong energy production on their farms. A lot of the farms have solar panels. A lot of the farms have wind gauges that help them to attract energy from the natural environment to help their farms. A lot of them are also engaging in what they call mechanized irrigation system, because we know the issues of what they call unstable rainfall. A lot of them are engaging in mechanized irrigation systems, which they believe that here in Africa, if most of the farmers try and engage in that with the help of the government, is going to help with mitigating the impact of climate change, which as a result in this part of our country, in this part of the world, it comes as a result of the weather and water.
All right. Now, what again can you tell us about the leadership program?
So the training is in two parts. One is the first part is the boot camp, and the second part is the Congress. The boot camp is ending today, and the Congress starts tomorrow, which will bring together hundreds of people from across the world, agri experts, researchers, and journalists alike, to come together to understand how to move forward in terms of how to help agric journalism, how to help agric production, especially in developing countries.
Many thanks for that update, Prince Appiah, reaching us live from the United States of America, specifically Minneapolis, where he is currently attending an information forum for journalists, agricultural journalists in the country. Away from that, some players in the local textile industry are imploring government to put in measures to revive the dying tie and dye industry. They complain low patronage by Ghanaians and the influx of adulterated Chinese prints has contributed to current state of the once vibrant enterprise. Fashion and textile designer at Kumasi Technical University, Nafisa Azuma, suggested government can include it under the One District, One Factory initiative to help revive it. Prince Appiah was there and reports.
Starts with identifying a fabric for dye. Soak the fabric in water for a few minutes and take it out. Get your chemicals, including caustic soda, sodium hydroxide, and a dye in water ready. Mix it to get the dye solution and tie it up to prevent particular portions of the fabric from touching the dye solution. The fabric is then allowed to dry for some time to give the required design. Though as simple as this, the local patronage continues to decline. Nafisa Azuma is textiles and fashion designer at the Kumasi Technical University.
And I think the tie and dye industry has really gone down the years. People are not patronizing and they are not interested in tie and dye because of the Chinese inferior made tie and dye and batik fabrics in the markets. I think we can address this problem by patronizing our own products, as it was done in the Kufuor administration, that Friday wear should be African prints, and so those laws must be enforced so that we can patronize our products.
Apart from connecting to the African culture, over 20 Americans and Canadians are in Ghana to learn the process. Queen Mother, representing Kusasi traditional area in USA and Canada, explains the impact of the project.
And so bringing these young people is exactly what we're about. Our goal is to share our tradition and culture with them, at the same time equipping them or instilling in them self-reliance. And that's what they're doing today. They're learning about how to make clothing. And so our goal is to keep bringing our ancestral bloodline, which is black people, native black people all over the West, okay, back to Africa, so that we can instill our tradition and our culture in them.
The trip is part of a program by the group to initiate development projects in Ashanti, Northern, Central and Eastern regions. Leader of the group, Dr. Urao Hememitu, explains the team will collaborate with government to establish factories in selected areas.
So my mission is to bring that picture of sustainability to people in Ghana, so that we can begin to see the practice and bring Songhai to Ghana, maybe through the government's One District, One Factory initiative. I have people in 4 parts of Ghana who are already committed to establishing Songhai centers if we get support from the government.
The Africans in the diaspora continue to trace their roots to Ghana to understand the culture and build developmental projects.
Let's cross over to the Volta region now, and traders in one of the region's busiest markets at Mafi Kumasi in the Central Tong district have resorted to renting canopies on market days to avoid harsh weather conditions. The traders complain the old market space where they operate has been embargoed by the district assembly and earmarked for construction of a lorry station. As a result, they are compelled to use makeshift stalls which are not environmentally friendly. Fred Duho recently visited the market and has come through with this report.
That the Kumasi markets in the Central Tong district are outraged with the district assembly for the lack of sheds and proper structures to protect them from bad weather conditions. The traders are therefore calling on the district assembly to speed up work on the new market projects under construction, which started some 18 years ago. The district chief executive of Central Tong, Thomas Zoynra, gave assurance the new market project will be completed and commissioned for use by December this year.
They don't have enough shades to use. It's affecting the revenue we collect. Revenue collectors go through a tug of war to get the small one they can mobilize. So it's affecting the assembly. So I made it a point that I must construct this market and finish it up. They started back in 2001 and then stalled somehow, and having taken over the mountain now, I realized the need to complete it. So I'm using all kinds of methods to have this market completed as soon as possible. My target is to move in here in December.
DC indicated that the assembly has already met its 2019 revenue target and is on course to achieving the new set target. He was optimistic the market, when finished, will boost revenue generation for other developmental projects.
Even this year, we even reviewed it, readjusted it upwards. Last year, we were around 98%, and this year, by the middle of the year, we already hit our revenue target. So we reviewed and targeted another trade. Just because of the steps we are taking to mobilize more than we were doing previously. So I can tell you a lot is being done out of IGF already.
The Diprabo Kumasi markets have served as a hub for traders coming from other regions to do business over the years. One of the common food items, gari, is currently witnessing high prices. The market has been the major source of revenue for the Central Tong District Assembly over the years. The community and its environs are noted for cassava farming and gari production. Fred Duho's report for Joy Business.
And that will be it for the marketplace today. Thank you very much for your company. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji. We have been listening again same time tomorrow with more business news items. Have a good afternoon.